Hey folks, Liv here once again. Thank you guys for 295 subs. We're getting close to 300 guys. Keep on subscribing. I'm not wearing my YouTube shirt this time. This shirt I got from Florida. Anyway guys, hope y'all enjoyed my review yesterday of Black Adam. What am I forgetting? With starring Dwayne Johnson. Hope y'all enjoyed my review on that. That's on my channel right now if y'all want to check that out. And guys, as y'all know, my channel's name is Levi McNally 983. Now I've been on YouTube a lot longer than just a couple good months since like last June. But I think I've been on this channel for maybe a year now. Yeah, starting this month I think. So yeah. And it's doing pretty well, I think, so far. But don't ever think I'm going anywhere, guys, because I'm not. I just had to create a new channel because I lost the account to my other one, so I had to get a new one here. Yeah. But guys, remember, when you subscribe to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Levi McNally. Everything I say and do here is my opinion. Just some movies, just don't take it the wrong way. It's just my opinion from my perspective. Just my reviews, my opinion. That's all it is. Don't take it the wrong way. You're welcome to disagree with me on any movie. But like I say, if you like entertainment, you like films, you're a movie buff yourself, you like talking about movies, you know, you're into film or anything to do with movies, then this is a channel for you. And sometimes I'll do different videos as well on this channel. I did one recently, a couple days certain ago, but yeah, I do it because I enjoy doing it. So because I love reviewing films. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy me doing that. Like it, watching my reviews, and you guys do. But anyway, guys, what I've been doing is a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. Oh, don't forget, click the little bell to get all parts. When you click it on my channel, it could be down here. It could be on my channel when you sub to me. When you click the bell, you get all personalized. That means it'll tell you when I upload the community post or when I like when this video uploads. It'll tell you. It'll inform you. You'll be notified. You know, on everything that comes up, every video that pops up on my channel, it'll tell you every day, weeks, certain months. It'll tell you when. It'll tell you every time I upload a video or a review. So, just letting you guys know that. And you're welcome to share my channel as well with your friends, families, appreciate it, coworkers. I appreciate that. And also, what I've been doing here on the channel is a superhero marathon. I've been doing what I call the 2020 superhero reviews. These films that came out in the year 2020. Hope you guys can hear me and make sure the volume is turned up. But anyway, these films came out in 2020, and for me, I'm doing it 2020 to 2025, the year we're living in now. Uh, yeah, and this is a MCU movie. This is the 30th film in the MCU. It is a sequel to the 2018 film Black Panther, starring like Chadwick Boseman, and that is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Which, to be honest, I really enjoyed this movie. Now, when this came out, I was like, no, I don't want to see this, so I didn't watch it because I didn't think it'd be good. I was like, really, another Black Panther movie without Chadwick? But this movie really, they don't forget about Chadwick. Trust me, this was a very emotional ride to watch. This was a lot better than Thor: Love and Thunder because number one, it wasn't a joke. It had a good tone, and it was more interesting to watch than I think than Thor: Love and Thunder. I like this Doctor Strange equally. Doctor Strange is more horror. This is more serious based of a movie. It does have comedy in it. It still has humor in it, but it's not a joke like every 5 or 10 minutes, or 5 seconds. No. And it had a good story. I'm glad I regret not seeing it in theaters. I guess I jumped to judgment a little too quickly. But I was afraid, oh my god, is this going to suck? Because Thor: Love and Thunder did. I didn't see that in theaters. I'm like, well, maybe I just don't want to see this because I heard mixed reviews on that movie. So I was like, I don't want to really see this one. And this came out in November, so But I did see Doctor Strange 2, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness in theaters. But anyway, like I said, this is a sequel. It's the 30th film in the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Uh, Directed by Ryan Coogler, who also directed the first movie. With the release of the Black Panther movie in 2018, producer Kevin Feige said there were many stories to tell about the character, and he wanted the director and co-writer Ryan Coogler to return for any sequel. Of course, they were going to make a sequel though because the the first the first movie made $1 billion at the box office, so of course the sequel was going to happen. But Marvel Studios was able to keep the creative team as intact as possible. But Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Foreman, despite feeling it was too early to discuss the sequel, also positive about the desire to have Coogler return as director. They wanted to see how Chadwick Boseman Black Panther would grow as a king in future Black Panther films, since his reign had only begun in MCU. In contrast to the comics where he was a king since childhood. In March 2018, Feige Kevin Feige said the president of Marvel Studios said that there was nothing specific to reveal about a sequel. Marvel had ideas in a pretty solid direction on where they wanted to take a second film. That month, Bowen's agent Mark Green was negotiations for the actor to return as T'Challa. Black Panther shows were reported to be $10 million to $20 million respectively. By October, though, Coogler had closed a deal to write and direct a sequel to Black Panther. Despite both Marvel, Coogler always intended to work together again after the first film's success. Coogler avoided rushing into a deal. Negotiations with Coogler were completed under the radar, and the months following the first film was released. He was supposed to begin writing the sequel in 2019. Already planning to start in late 2019 or early 2020. Lily Wright was going to respire her role as Shuri for the sequel. Angela Bassett, who played Queen Ramonda in the first film, was also part of the sequel to return. Going to be Vance said that she would. Michael B. Jordan also as our Killmonger, but just a short role in this film. Beach dismissed fans' statements in June 2019 as pure rumor, saying that there's no set plans for the film, as Ryan Coogler had just begun outlining it and no yet shared his plans with Feige co-producer Nate Moore. The next month, they spread history into respiring his role as T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, in the film. The year said that Coogler had confirmed that she'd be respiring her role of Ogi in the sequel. Feige confirmed that the sequel was development at the 2019 San Diego Comic Con. Martin Freeman confirmed it and announced that he would return as Everett K. Ross in the sequel. The release date of May 6, 2022 was announced, with the placeholder titled Black Panther 2. Fuller had completed script treatment for the film that included a villain and a new title. At the end of 2019, Ruth E. Carter confirmed that she would be returning for the first film. Costume designer for the sequel and said that she was set to begin on work on it fall. Feige, Boseman, and Coogler discussed the extra elements of Boseman's more Congo performance as North Universe T'Challa. What if T'Challa became Star Lord on August 6th? But sadly, on August 28, 2020, Chadwick Boseman died from colon cancer. I think he had colon cancer for quite some time. I think since started working with the MCU, or in the making of Black Panther, he had cancer. He just didn't say anything, which I can understand because with a lot of actors and actresses, they don't want to announce their private life to people because he doesn't need the media. Probably he didn't. Chadwick probably did not want the media following him around. Probably his family probably kept it a secret because he didn't want media, taking pictures and following him. So I can see why actors need the privacy. They don't want to say things because then somebody like, oh, you're sick. Click, pictures in your face all the time. So he had been unaware of Bowman's illness. Bowman didn't really tell anybody. He had spent the last year preparing, imagining, and writing words for him to say in the film that weren't destined to see. Feige and other executives at Marvel Studios were also unaware of his illness. Boseman had become thinner from his illness prior to his death, had been prepared to begin gaining the weight back in September 2020, ahead of filming of the sequel in March 2021. According to the Hollywood Reporter, they felt Disney could recast the role, but they might generate a fan outcry. And another comparison between the actors, another suggestion was for Disney to shift their plans and have Sherry take on the mantle of Black Panther, which occur in the comic books, which I'm fine with. And yes, Sherry does take over as Black Panther's movie, which I think, in my opinion, if Chadwick was still here, I think he would have been okay with the Lady Wright taking over the role. In the comics, I'm sure they got along in real life. I can tell with this cast that they probably did get along in real life, so I think he would have been okay with it. That probably would have been Chadwick's wishes, you know. Yeah. I can't say for certain, folks. I'm just saying it, but it was said that Chadwick died. But I'm glad they didn't replace him because you can't replace the King of Wakanda. You can't replace T'Challa. You know, there's only one man that played him. It's like Chadwick was. It's like trying to. Yeah, you can have other Superman, but there's only one Superman to me. That's Christopher Reeve, and you can't try to be him. Just doesn't work. If they did do that, I would have never seen this movie. Yeah. But at the time of Boseman's death, though, Kozer was in the middle of writing the script and had already turned in his draft. In mid-November, executive producer Victoria Alonso and digital double Boseman would not be credited for the film. Good. I'm glad they didn't do that because a lot of movies do that now, like with Ghostbusters Afterlife with Harold Ramis, or when they try to digitalize or CGI a character's face or bring him back. It's just creepy. Cobra Kai did that too with Mr. Miyagi, and I didn't like that. It's just creepy. It's just weird. Don't try to bring actors that are passed away back to. It's just in CGI form. Yeah. Later in the month, Luke Winston Duke and Bassett were confirmed to be front of the roles for their characters from the first film. WWE wrestler Damon Priest was linked to the role. Later in 2024, that he was offered part in the film, though he did not specify it was Namor or another character. Vince McMahon's brag team despite his ability. Filming was set to begin in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm from Georgia, but I don't live in Atlanta though. In December 2020, the film's release date was moved back to July 8, 2022, but I don't think that happened because I think that happened for Thor: Love and Thunder instead. He also confirmed that the role of T'Challa would not be recast, that the sequel would explore the world characters of the first film as a way to honor the legacy that Boseman helped build. He would later reframe the visual effects would not be used to include Boseman in the film. Good, I'm glad they didn't do that. Also said it felt was like it was too soon to recast, knowing that how the outside and with the MCU was still processing the loss of Boseman. By the end of the month, Boseman's makeup designer was set to return for the sequel, while his personal customer Greg said he would not commit to the film due to Boseman's death. Hair designer was unsure if she would return following Boseman's death, as well as the death of her sister. January 2021, the primary focus of the sequel was always about further exploring the characters and different subcultures of Wakanda. That same month, Jordan said he was willing to respond to the world's Killmonger as he felt returning to the MCU would always be on the table in some captivity due to his love for the character and working with Brian Coogler. And he would also go to work with him in the film a couple years later that would be Sinners that came out this year. Still haven't seen that. Daniel Cola said he was unsure if he would reprise his role of Wicca. Ultimately he did not do scheduling conflicts with Jordan Peele's Universal Picture film Nope. The sequel, however, establishes the Wakai was banished from the Wakanda following the events of Black Panther. So for pre-production, March 2021, Coogler said that he was still writing the script. He tried working on the film without Boseman as the hardest thing he had ever done in his career. He added that Boseman had held together the first film, and now as director, he was the one that trying to keep it going. He was able to share many elements of his plan to film before Boseman's death, including one that the themes that the people who were hurting just as much as me, could actually perform and execute come out the other side of the hole. According to Coolidge, the original version of the script would have explored T'Challa dealing with resuming life after the blip, grieving the loss of time. This would take place after Avengers Endgame as well, after being gone for 5 years, and follow T'Challa's relationship with his Neca's son, T'Challa II, who he never met because of the blip. Coolidge said the Meyer Valentine from the original script, having no larger role compared to the final film. Coolidge had envisioned Nomar as a antagonist for a future Black Panther film while working on the first film. Christian Mark Stevens was not allowed to character be used in any CMC projects before the second film. Brad added that Shuri would have become Black Panther alongside T'Challa. Freeman said he would soon meet with Coolidge to discuss the project. Coolidge wrote an out in which he said the film would still shoot in Georgia, despite the state passing its Election Act of 21 law. Though Coolidge did not support the bill, he felt that boycotting the film would have no negative effect on the people who otherwise would have been employed by the film. He instead planned to raise awareness of how to overturn a bill. For Coolidge and plans and everyone involved with dedicating to Bosman's legacy, later saying that Coolidge had reshaped his idea for the film to respect Bosman, which she felt was spiritually and emotionally correct to do. Moore described the film as you move forward while dealing with the tragic loss and all the characters, both old and new, how loss can affect your actions in the ways that are emotional and surprising. The film continues exploring feminist themes from the first film, saying the film would take beliefs, passions, loves, and arguments of the women characters, creating a robust drama. She also felt that Wakanda was a world driven to get to. The film introduces Namor to the MCU, his homeworld comics to Atlantis token, a decision made by culture of what comparison with depictions of Atlantis Lost Emperor and Aquaman. Yeah, at least he's not trying to take those names. The characters work closely with Mayan histories and expect to portray Tolkien in the film. They notice Tolkien was similar to Wakanda that is an advanced civilization hidden in plain sight, with more stating they too often find themselves in conflict because they're not dissimilar. These are two nations that would prefer to be hidden and isolated. The monk, they're incredibly powerful and have points of view about the world would be. More than 2,000 outfits were designed for Carter for the film. The process of creating Noma's costume began about a year before production. The film had started. Porter asked several artists to help design the character's outfit. Most of them submitted drawings that were costumed by comic book artist John Burnett Jr., but their ideas were rejected in favor of design by them overseas visual development Anthony Francisco, who was inspired by the character's original green spoon proofs flag look. Carter worked, with Marvel's visual development team and art department to design Shuri's Black Panther costume. Seeking ideas based on the characters in the comics, the artist never adorned Shuri's costume with a combination of gold and silver elements that she felt highly the character's affinity and wanted the costume designed to stay close to Shuri's form. The solitude of a woman with a bust and hips and shoulders, trying to do deeply and chance a dynamic figure of the Panther suit. Yeah, and this is her suit in the movie. It's completely different from the first movie, which is fine. I like the suit in the movie. You know, Carter said Rumina's outfit has strong presence of metal collar that was 3D printed and painted to look like metal. For the Talon costumes, Carter thought of ice and the story's experts. She incorporated jade and rare sea creatures in the headdress, such as Nemours, the fins of lionfish, and skull of a hammerhead shark. Maybe the costumes can be tested in water given the amount of underwater filming that occurred, because a lot of the film does take place underwater. What Carter was saying, clothes are meant to be worn for 8 hours and used the next day. We had to rethink everything about fibers would go in water and look organic. Well, I think that clothes are just like ballet at the time. They just rise up. Most series revealed that film star will be Black Panther Wakanda Forever, with Ethan Anderson of film believed that is a fitting tribute to Boseman. Wakanda Forever is the battle cry of the Wakandans. One to more, hundreds of different subtitles were confirmed to the second Black Panther film, as in King of the Deep, Forever Steve Tucklinen, and Wakanda Forever filming. Leah was confirmed with the film's new lead, again respiring her role as Shuri from the first Black Panther movie. Uh, filming filming began in Atlanta, Georgia on June 29, 2021, under the title Working Title Summer Break. Prior to Boseman's death, filming had been started in March. They started filming, Feige announced that everyone from the first one was expected to return. They assumed, however, doing so on the Disney Plus television series. Sorry. A longtime collaborator of Collusion's Rachel Morrison, a longtime collaborator of Collusion's Morrison planned to return for Wakanda Forever, but wasn't able to due to schedule conflict with the Flint Storm, also caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Could have affected filming too a little bit. They bonded together and set while dealing with their grief for Bosman death. Wright and Corey really connected their talking walks together. Described feeling emotional while entering the throne set. As she remembered filming scenes with Bosman during the first film and said that Coolidge held a process of grief. Last said in July that the screenplay was still undergoing changes due to Bosman's death and had gone through at least 5 incarnations. Yet the first film co-writer Joe Robert Cole was contributing to the sequel. In August, though, Heist Diplomatic was inspired to say his role as the Wakanda River Tribe leader. Dominic Throne began filming scenes for Wakanda Forever. Throne previously auditioned for the role of Shuri in Black Panther. Filming that month was expected to take place in Massachusetts, at the MIT, and in Worcester. Production began film in a Worcester by August 18th. The car chase scene. The chase scene was filmed in the United States Johnson Tunnel. Frye was temporarily hospitalized with what she believed to be minor injuries, sustained an accident while filming a stunt in Boston. She went home to Orlando for recovery and went in September while filming continued to shoot around her character. Dorothy Steele, who portrayed the Wakanda merchant earlier in the first one, died on October 15th. She was in the middle of refining her role for the sequel when she died. In late October, the film was released with delays to November 11, 2022. Production moved back to Mary Ross Waterfront Park in Brunswick, Georgia, by October 22nd, where filming occurred from the October 28th to November 2nd. Most of the filming occurred on the water. The Hill Project's Downtown Development Authority director, most of the scenes were shot at night. By November 5th, filming the scenes did not require a break was completed. Production went on hiatus for November 19th. November 19th, sorry. Yeah. At the time of the Hollywood Reporter, yeah, well, the film was really scheduled to resume on January 10th, but was delayed by a week. At one cast computers, including Among, were tested positive for COVID-19. For post-production, they officially announced the plane that the actor will play tomorrow in San Diego Comic Con. Uh, Julie Dreyfus was revealed to be returning the MC roles as Killmonger and Valentine in the film. Yeah. Article footage about Bosman for the previous films is used at the end of Wakanda Forever. Unlike most MCUs that include both mid-credit scenes and post-credit scenes, Wakanda Forever features only one scene. Shows Shuri being introduced to her nephew. Moore said that the creative team did not consider including additional scene after the credits of the film during its production. They felt the ending was so kind of poetic. They thought it'd be a little just Tony, I guess. I can't say the word right, sorry. They needed a stinger at the end, basically, is what they're saying. Wright said, no two children auditioned for the role but T'Challa besides Khan Dusan. Having felt inspired to become an actor of Black Panther, He read many scripts in order to audition at process he found challenging due to the character being different, his own personality. He opted to watch the MCU film Captain America Civil War. He prepared to do that to filming Bosman's first appearance in T'Challa. Yeah, which was his first appearance in 2016 in Captain America Civil War. Aaron Charney, who served as a fight coordinator for Wakanda Forever, confirmed that Nimbus angle wings are capable of growing back after a scene in the film showed one of them being cut off by Shuri. Michael P. Sherberg returns as editor for the first film. Industrial Imagine Digital Domain, RSPX, Storm Studios, they assume special effects. Over 233 out of the film's 448 shots involve the use of visual effects. They used the sound of rattlesnakes for Nimrod's ankles legs. Uh, the music score was, yeah, No Woman, No Cry. She got some songs in there, but I do like the soundtrack in here. It still a bit reminds me of the first movie. For the marketing of the film, of course, you had the teaser trailers and the trailers. Also, for the movie, you had Sprite Zero Sugar. They, on the coat, you have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Yeah, they were on the Sprite cans. Oh yeah, you also had a commercial where a guy tries to walk into his kitchen, opens a refrigerator, then Wakanda woman, one of the guards of the Wakandans or whatever, looks at him. He's about to, sure, he's gonna stop. He's like, "Oh, Wakanda's right in our refrigerator." I thought that was funny. Also, the woman in this movie that Ryan Williams, I think the character's name is the girl that's like Iron Man. She's like in a Target commercial supporting the film. Yeah, and also I think McDonald's had toys out for the movie. Yeah, McDonald's had toys out for the movie at the time, just to help with the marketing and, like I said, the trailers and stuff. Yeah. And now for the cast of the film, you have Lydia Wright as Shuri Black Panther, the Princess of Wakanda, who designs new technology for the nation. She gives a larger world though after the death of Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. She's a British actress, but I like her. I think she's a very good actress. She, of course, was in the first movie as Shuri in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame as well. Oh, she was in Ready Player One as well. I like that movie. And she did a voice for Sing 2. She was on Death on the Nile. This movie, Avengers Doomsday, she's going to respond her role as Shuri Black Panther. So you probably get to see more of her in that movie. Hmm. Lieutenant Natan as Nuka, a former war dog and undercover spy for Wakanda from the River Tribe. Very good actress. I think she was she was in the first movie, 12 Years a Slave. I think I've seen it. It's not nonstop. I remember her in that with Liam Neeson. She was, oh yeah, she voiced for Shaka in the Jungle Book remake. And she was in some of the Star Wars sequel trilogy films, which I don't remember too much. And of course, was in the first Black Panther movie as well, but a very good actress in my opinion. Danny Ogre as Uke, the general of the Wakanda's female special forces and a former Avenger. She, of course, was also in the first Black Panther movie from 2018 and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. She was in Ghost Town. I think I've seen that. That was about like 2008. I'm not sure we come back for Avengers Doomsday. I kind of doubt it. Winston Duke, though, as Mopa, the powerful warrior and leader of the Wakanda's mountain tribe, the Jorva, who I think does a really good job again. Yeah. He was in the first movie, and of course in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And he is gonna be in Avengers Doomsday as well, coming out next year. Or Spire of the World Malkuk. Florence Bus as Ao, a member of Second Command who later becomes a general. She was also in Captain America Civil War, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and she was also in Wonder Woman, 2017 film. Uh, Her first time playing the character was in Captain America: Civil War. Then Black Panther: Avengers: Infinity War. She voiced Shinji as well, which I don't remember that much. I'm sorry, but Whoopi Goldberg. I want to finish Whoopi Goldberg now, but Whoopi Goldberg, because Whoopi Goldberg I think is nuts. Whoopi I think is crazy now, but I do prefer her as the voice of Shinji from The Lion King, the original. Then Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Dominic Throne as Rhea Williams, an MIT student in Genius Level. I liked her, you know. I know she's going to be getting her Ironheart TV show, which I'm curious to see. Yeah, people you can say she's a ripoff of Iron Man's character, but I liked her. Her suit was different, but it does remind me of Iron Man. Yeah, was a miniseries, but anyway, Michael Colia as Agnique, a kind of warrior, and member of the Dora Macha, who's romantically involved with Ao. She was in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Mublo Kanan, I'm sorry, I can't say his name right. Don't worry. It was coming the right hand woman who takes him up as a father figure. She's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Tegna Kartmachi as Numera, the king of Tegnut, an ancient civilization of blue skin underwater dwelling dwellers. You know what? Let me show you this. I know, sorry, I forgot to take the slipcover off. But like I said, I do have the film on. I forgot to mention I do have the film just on Blu-ray. Sorry, the only cover comes up, but that was a Blu-ray disc I showed you. You get some special features here as well. Division 2 words passing the mantle. Yeah, yeah. This is what they look like in the movie. Yeah. There's Nimrod and his people, his tribe, and Black Panther. You know, Sherry and the Wakandans. His people refer to him as a feather servant god. I thought the actor was good. Says he was accused of abuse by a musician. I don't know if it's all true, but I thought he did a good job playing the villain. I don't know the guy, but he's gonna come back as in Avengers New Day as Namor. Of course, he's a Mexican actor, which is fine. He was good in the part. Martin Freeman comes back as Eric K. Ross, an agent of the CIA. He was in the first film, Shaun of the Dead remake. Was it the Shaun of the Dead remake? I guess. Fuzz. Mm, Julia Jarvis as Valentine Elverforte, the new director of the CIA and the ex-wife of Ross. I think she was in maybe Falcon. Well, you should probably know her from Seinfeld and Geppetto with Drew Carey, that TV movie. You know. And I think she did a voice work for Disney Onward. Yeah, voice her from Onward. She was in Father's Day with damn, I know his name. That was late Robin Williams, I believe. Yeah, and Billy Crystal as well. A Bug's Life. She voiced Princess Ada, so she's worked with Disney before. Onward. She does have a cameo in Black Widow, but Black Panther she does have a bit of more few scenes. She's in Thunderbolts too. Yay, because I'm so excited to see that. She's the voice for Hey Arnold, the Saturday Night, the Saturday Night Live. She was hosting it. The Fairy Appearance of Simpsons, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I guess that was the first time. And Angela Bassett comes back as Ramonda, the Queen Regent of Wakanda, who was grieving the death of her son T'Challa. Angela Bassett, Angela Bassett, very good actress in my opinion. I think she was in who was that? Let's see, was it Meet the Browns? Yeah. It says here she's directed some movies too, like Breakthrough, Whitney, American Horror Story. She was in Critters 4. She's been doing movies since like 1986. Oh, she was a stewardess in Kindergarten Cop, movie that stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. Vampire in Brooklyn. Oh yeah, I think I remember her. I don't know. I didn't see that movie, but I do know she's in it. But I haven't ever seen. I heard that was a terrible Eddie Murphy movie. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I haven't seen it, but I just heard it was not good. Green Lantern 2011 film. I remember her in that. And the first Black Panther movie, of course. Bumblebee, Avengers Endgame, just a cameo though. Yeah. And Mission Impossible, Possible to Find a Rating. I think she was. Oh yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout. I remember her in that. But a very good actress. You know, Michael B. Jordan does respect his role of Killmonger. You do have archival footage from MCU's of Boseman T'Challa, so they do pay respect to him here. Yeah, yeah. This film, trust me, this movie does not forget about Chadwick Boseman. This film is directed and written by Ryan Coogler, who again, like I said, directed the first movie in Sinners, which I heard was really good, but I haven't seen it. Which Michael B. Jordan also stars in that with Haley Steinfeld. Joe Robert Cole was writes the film. He wrote the script for the first Black Panther movie. The People vs. O.J. Simpson. I think that starred Cuba Gooding Jr. I've seen some of that show. It's a story by Ryan Coogler as well, based on Marvel Comics, produced by Kevin Feige, the president of the company, Marvel Studios. But he's been working with Marvel since the first Iron Man movie. I think, let's see, well, he's produced other movies like Volcano, You've Got Mail. Volcano's a disaster movie with Tommy Lee Jones. You've Got Mail is a romantic comedy with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. And he's been working a little bit on the other MCU movie, Marvel films before MCU, like starting in the 2000s, like with X Men, Spider Man, Daredevil, X2 X Men Night, Hope, Punisher, Spider Man 2, Elektra, Fantastic Four, X Men Last Stand, Spider Man 3, Fantastic Four, Super Surfer, the Marvel animated film Next Adventure of Tomorrow, Punisher Warzone, Hulk vs. Thor Tessa Bosgard, and Thor, The Amazing Spider Man. Screenplay, cinematography by Amrit Durald. Talene, I can't say the name right, I'm so sorry. Teen Spirit, Together, Sinners, edited by Michael Weed Schroyer, I'm sorry. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Spotlight, Wakanda Forever, Sinners, and Jennifer Lame, okay. Paper Towns, De Palma, The Mary Red Story, I've seen that movie with Adam Sandler, and Dustin Hoffman and Ben Stiller. That was on Netflix. Tenet, Christopher Nolan film. Opening another Christopher Nolan film, I believe. Music is by Ludwig Grossman. I thought his music score was pretty good. Let's see. 30 Minutes or Less. We're the Millers. Top 5. The first Creed movie. Death Wish remake. Venom 2018. And Creed 2. Tenet. Bad Trip. Opening of Sinners. And The Odyssey. Which is a movie coming out next year that he's working on, I guess, right now. Production company is Marvel Studios. Distributed by Walt Disney Studios. Motion Picture Studios. Sorry. It was released November 11th, 2022. It's 161 minutes long. The film is about 2 hours and 41 minutes long. The budget is estimated around $250 million. Box office made $859.2 million worldwide. Oh, they're talking about casting Denzel Washington for a third movie. They would have discussed a potential third film, which I don't know if they'll do. But I believe that third film was going to be considered that they need a little break though to regroup, which is fine. Oh, Coulter, Ryan Coogler did confirm Washington's casting that you know. I wonder what he'll be doing. Maybe they can just make one more Black Panther movie. Don't make another fourth one. Yeah, we don't need another Thor: Love and Thunder type movie. Yeah, I want another Doctor Strange sequel too. That'd be cool. I want one. I do. Yeah. Anyway, those are people working. Okay, so let's talk about the plot synopsis of the movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, don't watch this review because there will be spoilers in this review. So if you've never seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, just turn the video off right now because even though I'm talking about plot synopsis, I'm in spoilers. So just turn the video off, please, if you've never seen the if you've never seen this film, turn the video off right now. So the plot of the story is that the film does take place, I think, like almost 6 years later. I think, or no, 5 years later, right after Avengers Endgame, and King T'Challa has died from a sickness. and takes place like 1 year later, where Queen Ramonda, Sherry, Mabu, and Oakley, and the Jory Mont, they fight to protect their nation from this innovative world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans drive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together in efforts to rise to forge a new path for the beloved kingdom that they're being threatened. Sorry. So sorry. But to forge a new path, they also had to fight this new enemy, which are the people that are this new tribe that live underwater, that clan, this king named the Feather Serpent God, they call him, that, forget his, Nimra, who is in charge of his own people with the tokens. I don't know what you call the tribe. I forget. I'll tell you whatever. Yeah. So basically, they had to protect Wakanda, and their plan is to attack the World Trade Center. He wants to kill a bunch of people. He's out for revenge, protect anything he protects the world, and Sherry must have to step up, and she has to just become the new Black Panther. And along with her members of her family here, including her mother, and know that they must team up. They have to fight against this new enemy. They have to find out what they're up to, and they have to stop him. Put a stop to Nimrod, who's a very powerful enemy, a powerful foe that they're up against. But the enemies can fight underwater and are very strong and nearly can't be killed either. Spoiler alert, they can't nearly be killed. So before they attack the Silver Sword start a war, Shuri, like I says, with the new Black Panther, they have to take them on and they have to save the world and find out how to continue what they're going to do with their nation of Wakanda. How they're going to continue after T'Challa's death. Yeah, movie does play heavily upon that. So, like I said, they don't forget about him. Alright, guys, now I'm going to talk about the movie itself. So, if you've never seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever, please just turn the video off for your own sake. I don't want you spoiling the movie for yourself. And again, if you didn't want to see this movie when it came out, I think I understand completely. Believe me, I do. Believe me, I have no interest either. But I'm glad I saw it. Well, the movie doesn't know about this, but the movie, in the year 1571, this tribe in Newton, they suffer an outbreak of smallpox. They get this sickness. This shaman is found to plant along with other people that drank it. Well, wait a minute, I'm reading something wrong here. Actually, the film opens up with, with T'Challa's death with, in 2024, Sherry, she works in her lab. She's trying her hard to get a heart-shaped heart for her brother, you know, for her brother, Wakanda's king. But he's dying of an illness. And her machine AI is trying to tell her, you need to go see your brother, princess. And she's like, no, continue working. He's like, everybody out, everybody out. And she's very stressed out. And then her mother comes in, Angel Bassett comes in and says, your brother's gone. They have a funeral for him. And this is just emotional to watch. Yeah. You see that poster of him, T'Challa. And it's just very sad. She's crying over his grave. They like take him up to a ship like they're gonna, yeah, he's gonna, he's buried, she's straight crying. And it's really heartbreaking to watch when this film opens up like that. And then it's Sherry and her mother, Angela Bassett, they're crying. And you're crying with them nearly. I nearly cried because, we need Chadwick Boseman. I'm glad they opened up with this, that they really did not recast him, that they focused on paying tribute, making it about him. And when you have the Marvel Studios, the Marvel logo when it opens with the Marvel character, well, it said it's all T'Challa in the beginning, the Marvel Studios, it's T'Challa. And it was just sad. It's just every time he's mentioned or every time you see footage of him, it's just heartbreaking to see. His death was so shocking. But we didn't know he was sick. Yeah, it's just very emotional to talk about too. Yeah, I'm kind of glad this movie went. I mean, there's comedy in here, but I'm glad they went with the sadness and went with the straight tone instead of like the Love and Thunder, the way they ruined that. But anyway, Forget about that movie. Then the film takes place like 1 year later. Wakanda's having trouble with the nations who know the king is dead. They're trying to come after the vibranium. They nearly succeed. These mercenaries do, but okay, and her team, who they fight them off with their spears. One gets new spear. She's like, "You need to use your spear. It kills people." Well, Princess Sherry made it for me, so they fight them off. Angela Bassett, the Queen, Queen Ramonda. She goes to the nation capital, the United Nations. She was, they're go. She said, "Y'all failed to go after me. Leave us alone, or any attack on us will be an act of war. So leave us alone. Don't mess with us. You know, all we want is peace. You might know about us. Even though the Black Panther is gone, T'Challa, they'll still fight." Yeah. And then we get to the scene where we get to the ocean, Atlantic, middle of the Atlantic Ocean, that these American, that this warship, battleship or whatever you want to call it, they're using a device that's actually able to detect vibranium. They go in there. It's just two people. They're in these bodysuits or whatever to protect them in the water, of course. But they get attacked by the tribe, numerous tribe, by the Tolokans attack them. But they, of course, think that since the whole thing on TV was about the Wakandas, there's this lady there and this general, whatever he's a general, whatever. They think it's the Wakandas attacking. They think it's the Wakandas attacking them. But this tribe, the Tokens, when they get out of the water, they can stand in the water. They do this siren yell, and when they do that, they don't even have to go up and attack all these men on the ship. All they do is this noise, and as soon as they hear it, they jump in the water to their deaths. One guy's ever stop, the general's ever stopped like shooting his gun up there. He's like, get down from the ledge, and he gets down from one of the buildings, pull him. They get on there. One of them, stabs him with a spear, chases the lady. She tries to escape on the plane. They attack her and kill her for them trying to, they get brutally killed. Nimar strikes his people strike him down. Yeah, and the Queen Ramonda, she goes back to her daughter. She goes back to Sherry, and Sherry's very upset. She's been depressed, and that funny, jokey side of her is kind of gone because she's for about 1 year. She's very heartbroken. She very much misses her brother. You know. Now you don't get a lot of Black Panther in this movie, with good reason because now people complain. Well, we don't. Yeah, it's not always just about the hero being in a suit. It's mainly about the story. And this film, I think, has a good story. The first Black Panther had a movie story. You do get Black Panther, but like I said, in the third act, the final act of the movie, you do. And I can see why Sherry is not trying to take her brother's place. Because he was Black Panther, and when he died, Black Panther to them died with him. So she's not going to try to take her brother's place. I don't think that's Sherry's goal. Like I said, she's upset. She's in pain. She misses her brother. She tells her mom not to worry about her, but they go, out in the woods to light a fire, talk about their brother, talk about her son, about what he would have wanted, and she lets Sherry know that she worries about her. She burns her funeral garments to the end of the mourning period, but Sherry's not ready to move on. She's having a hard time moving on, like I said, from her brother's death, from T'Challa's death. And she's like, I have something very important to tell you that. And then Newmore arrives. Since the Wakanda have their border, which is unseen, he's able to get past it in the water. And at first they have spears on him. They don't know if he's there to attack them. They don't know. He reveals to them the existence of Tugna, and wants their help to stop foreigners from taking vibranium. He gives them like a piece of it. He also explains that Wakanda is not the only place that has vibranium. Tugna has it too. Then Ramada tells them off, worried of his presence. She's like, "You do not come to my country and make demands. You don't cross my barrier like that. That's crossing the line." He tells them he's going to kill the scientist who made the machine, that the vibranium requests their help, warning that they should not get in his way and try to help him out, that they propose teaming up. Next day, Kumamanda, gets the tribe council, discuss the fact there is a nation, to enter Wakanda, and will the face fact of venom can now be detected. But they have different opinions of what to do. Moku, the leader of the mountain tribe, says, "We should just kill the fisherman." You know, and I will admit, I do agree with Mocha here when he says, what is the point here if he tries to come back here? He's asking for a brain for your help. But what if he goes back and asks for more and tries to kill all of us? He's got a good point. So Oakley decides to go to the scientist so they can protect the scientist, which you find as a teenage girl. And she brings Sherry because Sherry needs to get out, and Sherry tries to build him some technology stuff, which she does, but Sherry agrees to go. They want to bring them back to Wakanda so they can decide what should be done with them. And Queen first says no, but she's like, all right, well, she needs to get out. Just protect her. Then, you see Everett Ross again, who, if you remember the first movie, he's going to Shell, he got shot, I think by Killmonger. They took him back to Wakanda. Sherry saved his life, so he owes them his life. And he helped them fight um, Killmonger and his army, from them trying to get the weapons out there. That was Ross that did that. He tells them, you're back after Wakanda didn't attack, and they don't know nothing about the ship or what he's talking about. I was like, what? They're asking him, you know, they want to find out who built the machine. They can't tell them anything because apparently the United States, the FBI, wants to go after Wakanda if they step foot again in American land because they think that they're the ones that attacked that ship and killed all those soldiers. And that scientist woman, they think it's them. Yeah. And she's like, I assure you, Wakanda had nothing to do with that. Oakley tells him. But since he owes him his life, he tells him that it was a machine built by an MIT student named Murray Williams. I do like the fact that he or she gets to get a pay. So she does machine stuff for technology stuff people and she gets paid for it. Cool. She goes to her room. She has one noggin. It's Sherry. She's like, I'll give you 5 minutes. Well, 6 minutes. She was like, no, you can't go out there. We'll let you scared. Nobody's got their sunglasses on. I was like, Joey, look, you scared her. And, Sherry's like, you need help us. She brought this from Brandon's side. It took you a couple months. Wow. But council won't take that age. So she's 19 years old. And when Oakley comes in, she gets scared of her. She tries to run. But, she's about to throw. Oakley uses her spear on her. Not on her, but she throws like an electronic device at her. She throws like a radio or something. She like pick up another heater. It's like, I'm gonna throw it at you. And then she's like, well, okay, good luck. The fish man that's coming at you is gonna kill you. So bye bye. She's like, okay, I'll go with you. And Williams, she takes them to. It was just a school project. That's all it was. She takes them to their garage. She's been working on Iron Man type armor. You know. Then all of a sudden, the FBI FBI shows up to arrest them because they know that Sherry and Oakley are there. President Sherry's there, so they're going to arrest them. And William was like, damn it, I should have just let the fish man find me, because at least he never ran the FBI to my door. And so, you know, Sherry drives the bike, the motorcycle, and she has the cool suit, which I thought was pretty cool. Changes in, and I did thought it was funny when one of the FBI, the SWAT team officers come in, they're like, oh my gosh, she's got an Iron Man suit. Shoots at them, flies away, which I thought was pretty cool. She even flies up. Kind of reminds me of the first time she shoots up, and in the sky it flies. What do you call it? Something's in the air. Sorry. Yeah, Sherry rides a motorcycle, which is cool. Ari riding her, bike, is able to put her spear, put it to the back of the trunk and back up and hits the cop, which that was a cool shot. Leo's with there, she destroys the, dang it, I forget. But it's like the airplane in the sky that detects people, detects, it can detect stuff in Iran. It's like stuff they use, but she blows up the little ship with it. But then all of a sudden the tokens show up. Oakley faces them, and she does put up a good fight. But they wake up from being dead. they try to go ahead and kill the scientist uh, with a big round. Nearly kills Oakley, but fails because Sherry's like, okay, I'll go with you. So they take her with them. They not they throw this like little bomb at her. At Oakley. It doesn't kill her because it's falls in the water. Doesn't die though. Then it says the crime scene. Ross runs into his wife, which is Valentine, Julie Dreyfus. He finds the braids that hide them. That's from Sherry. Hides it in there. Ramonda's feeling Queen Ramonda's furious with Oakley, and she's like, "My queen, I'm sorry." And she tries to beg her, "I'll find your daughter." Is like, is like, "Will you sit on the throne? I can't kill him. Nearly kill my son, and you sit here." And he's like, "But I turned to, she, on one of the cops says, well, she did point to even on the kill her husband for Wakanda." And you're like, "You did this, my husband did that. Have I not lost enough?" And I thought her acting was really good there. Yeah, she yells and screams, but she's a woman that's a lot of pain. She lost her husband, and her son didn't die too long ago. And she's been through a lot. And Lily gets pretty much fired, relieved of her duties, you know. And she's worried about losing her daughter too. But she sticks her spear in the ground and leaves in disgrace. There's another mention to me where I forgot to mention where Jerry says about, mother, yeah, I don't think it's not evil or something like that. I'm like, well, apparently the version see Adventures Age of Ultron. Ultron. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Gotta mention that. Sorry, I go everywhere in my review sometimes. Remember, Ramonda's able to find out where her daughter's at. She calls Agent Ross, and they try to find out where Sherry is. Ross and his ex-wife, Julie Dreyfus, they talk to the cops. Not the cops, but the FBI head leaders or whatever, headquarters, whatever you want to call it, about being in another country, but they don't have any proof of it. About another country being out there. He's just like, give me time. Then Sherry and Williams, they wake up in Tulsi. She meets no more. He shows civilization. He tries to convince her of the bracelet. He also tells her his story when he was born, like in 1571. The tribe in Yokto suffered an outbreak of smallpox. His mother got sick. They turned to the blue people after they took this drink. She was pregnant with him at the time. It's incapable of them breathing air. So they quickly moved into the ocean and created a civilization in the deep water, Tolkien. And of course, Tolkien, yeah, Nimrod was one of the babies. Who would become ruler of Tolkien. When she dies, she has to be buried in her homeland. So he leads the guards up to the land where he sees several Mayo people being enslaved by the Spanish. He's so fierce he jumps up, uses his power. He has the wings from his feet. You know, starts attacking. He ordered the plantation to be burned down. During the attack, a priest called the child, meaning the child without love, proclaimed Nimrod as a moniker, for he has no love for his surface world. Yeah, and that's just a bit of his past. But him and Sherry talk. He tells her about his history. He just wants her to understand that the surface world is dangerous. Takes her to see his world, and it's some beautiful cinematography. The visual effects under the water is really good. When she says hi to these like two teenagers, and sees it with their vibranium. It's like the sun. It's very beautiful to look at. And this underwater city, Tolkien, it's nothing like Atlantis or anything. For the first Aquaman movie, but it is very beautiful though to look at. Very nice little shot. He tries to convince her of his ideals, even giving his mother her bracelet. She disagrees with him killing Williams, which is what he wants to do because he believes she's a threat, and he wants to go up to attack the surface world, start a war by murdering innocents. He's like, maybe there's another way we can find peace. Yeah. Eventually, Ramonda goes to Naki, who left Wakanda 6 years ago, right after you know Thanos came. She ain't going to the funeral, but she needs her help to find her daughter. That's what she does. And Nikki, she's able to go undercover like as a student, able to talk to this woman, find out what the information is at. She's got this cool new suit. She goes under the water just to sneak. And anyway, up to the surface, Nimar, Queen Ramona gets him to come up there so she can talk to him. Says, "Let my daughter go. I want to tell the world about you." He's like, "If you tell the world about me, I will kill your daughter, and I will kill you, and I will attack Wakanda. You'll be starting a war." Eventually, NECA is able to come. They shoot this one girl down. She dies a little later, even though she was saved with the note in time. They gotta get out of there with Williams, so they go to Wakanda. But as retaliation, the Mormons people they're able to break in. They able to use those sounds again, so they were like close on their ears. Sherry drives this ship, which is real cool. But Nimrod's not just a villain. He's a villain that has lived for a long time, like since the 1500s. Basically, with when he was the way he was born, he's able to live for a long time and be under the water for a long time, be out of the water for quite some bit. He's like almost like a fish without gills. With gills, they can be out of water for a good while. But he's able to use his wings on his feet, like rattlesnake sounds. He attacks the ships. You know, remind them when they try to protect him, they try to fight him off. He almost floods the city. Oakley and Nakai, they save some people. They save Sherry too because their ship gets destroyed. And spoiler, Angela Bassett character dies. Queen Ramonda dies because he, you know, breaks through the window, like puts all these bombs and blows her up with all the water. And Queen Ramonda like goes down the water to save William from drowning. Main process gets herself killed because of her age, I guess you can say. And then the mom makes an announcement: "You start rolling with me. Now you only have one queen, and if you come back, we'll come back and attack and kill more of you." Yeah. And they throw a funeral for her. You know. And my boo tries to talk to her, says, "Is your heart okay? Are you feeling all right?" Of course, she's not feeling all right. She just lost her mother. But she's got to find out what she's got to do. Yeah. But meanwhile, though, Geo Jarvis is able to find out what Ross is up to. That he took the braids, because she put like a tracking device on it. He's able to listen in. She arrested him. She arrested him. Arrest him. And Mowgli also tells her not to kill anymore. But even though she's thinking about it, he will tells her that he'll find housing for the Wakandas. Sherry then uses Nimr's mother's bracelet to create a heart-shaped orb, because the orb was they had the plans on for another Black Panther was destroyed by Killmonger, so she has to create one, and it works. She takes it though, and she takes the water, and she's underwater, comes right up, and she sees Killmonger. She's like, "Why am I saying you?" Is like, "Because you think like me." And they have a talk. Is like, "I took action. I got my revenge. Your brother, he let your brother, he let your father's killer free. He let him go. You know, he didn't even finish him off like he was supposed to. Are you gonna be like Big Brother and do things peacefully? Or are you gonna be like me and take action and take care of business?" You know, because deep down Sherry is in here and heart is very angry and very wants revenge and desperately wants to kill them more. She makes herself a suit. I like when she punches one of the guards, the guard suit or whatever, or one of the ladies, the warriors protects them. And William says, "Wow, can I get one? Can I get some of that? Get one of those?" I thought that was funny. But she built herself this new suit. You she drops in a meeting between Marco and the elders at the time about as a Black Panther as princess, and she has to like do like an arm wrestling match with him. They don't call this man king or god. They call him Lord. They call him Cuckoo, which I can't really say. Servant warrior, weather warrior, or whatever, warrior god. He also tells Sherry he doesn't want her to commit murder. But Sherry doesn't listen. And Nucky tries to talk, who is also Nucky is I'm sorry if I can't say his name right, but he's also the wife. We find out for T'Challa as they kiss at the end of the first movie. Assume they got married, I guess secretly, but she's like, Sherry, what did you see? She's like, yeah, I'm mad and all I want is revenge right now. Yeah. So Sherry Williams is able to help out because she wants to, because her mother protected her like she was wrong, so she decides to help them. Do what she can for them, and make they build this ship to protect them, like a sound warrior. As Nimrod's people, he sounds to his army. They plan to attack, but they prepare for them. They got like this big sound vibration, this machine that goes out in the ocean that weakens them. She builds her own Iron Man suit as well. You know, she recruits Agni as her team member. They use these new weapons suits they give them. Yeah, Sherry in a Black Panther suit is able to fly across the ship they built and knock some of them technology warriors out. She's able to hit them a couple times. Uh, Williams in her Iron Man suit. She fights with Oakley a bit. He's like, they can get away from me. She like shoots him down, which I thought was cool. And she's like, I thought that was cool. She's getting excited. She traps him in the ship, Indian ship, with heat weakening him, and he tries to like get down to blow it up with his spear. And she puts back on her mask. She fights him. They fight for a bit. She's winning the fight for a bit until he pulls up. They get near this desert beach, so they fight on there. The Midnight Angels and Ironheart, they take care of the airborne Tanakas. I'm sorry. Yeah, the two fight. Tells about her mother. Yeah, first he's strong enough. He does get a hold of Sherry a bit, but she ends on her own pre-fight. It was a pretty good fight. I think it was a better fight than the first movie, but that's just my opinion. The first movie was a best CGI, but here, yeah, CGI too, but I thought the fight here was a bit better. Yeah. But like the first movie, it's a personal fight as well. She yells Wakanda forever as she armors up. She sends the blast from exploding, and it explodes into more. Like, oh, and it hits him so badly, and she's almost ready to kill him, but she remembers her mother and stuff and her brother, and says that it will darken her heart, and she'll become like Killmonger, just another murderer herself. She kills him, she'll just become a murderer, you know, just to live for revenge. Yeah. But she remembers T'Challa and her mother. She spares his life as long as he returns the token. Nomad has gratitude for Black Panther and joins her as they return to fight. And what I find interesting, he's a villain that gives up. And a lot of this time it doesn't happen in a Marvel movie. Yeah, I'm sure. I've seen some of the. It's hard to me to think about with all these 30, well, not 30, but the 30th MCU movie. One of the first villains in Marvel seen give up, just to stop the fighting. She has Wakanda forever once again, as the rest repeat it back. Williams returns to the MIT without armor. Without her armor, as Wakandas do not want any, controversy about it. Sherry does not want to challenge for the throne, so she leaves. So it's challenged by Mopuk. Namor paints his room, and I guess his wife Namor gives him a character description of Black Panther. However, that he assures her that the new alliance with Wakanda will be beneficial long term. As Ross is transferred to face. Oh, so I guess he's saying he's okay with it for now, but if anything happens, he'll probably attack. But for now, he's like it's just he's trying to make a peace. This is the first time I've seen an MCU villain just listening and wanting to give up. Not give up, but just make peace. Like, which is unusual just for an MCU villain to give up like that. Hopefully, he ends up bringing Ross out of prison. Then Sherry, as she's in this country, meets with Naka. She wants to show the last time. Thinking of his memory. And again, that's just very sad. I'm glad the movie, from the beginning to the end of the film, they are clearly remembering him. You know, and she also meets T'Challa's son, which I thought this kid did a real good job. Saying his real name's T'Challa. He says, "What's up, Auntie?" He says, "My name's T'Challa." They meet, they talk, and they're just Sherry's happy, and her heart's filled up good again, and she's got a new family here. And yeah, remember T'Challa, and then the movie ends there, and that's it. Which I'm glad they didn't end that post-credit scene. You didn't need that, but it does say, it remembers of our friend Chadwick Boseman. It was heartbreaking, but that was a sad ending too. And that's Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So yeah, yeah, really good movie. There are issues I have with the movie, but despite that, it's still a good film. You know, I wasn't trying to say the mental with her. I was trying to say my brother. Finch is a consumer to us. We cannot let it consume our people. A Spanish man faith cursed me as I died by my hand. Child without love. Take my name from there. No more, because I have no love for the service world. My ancestors always say that the most broken people can be great leaders. She did this. In 1 week's time, I'll return my entire army. You will join us against service world. Our watch will come vanquish from the face of the earth. Bury your dead, mourn your losses. You are queen now. The racist response to this inclusion by Olivia Branch. Further attempts on resource will be considered active aggression. There's some good dialogue in there. I'm not gonna say every dialogue, but the dialogue I think is good. You know it if you've seen the movie. But anyway, guys, let's see. Let me get my final thoughts on this movie, and then I will be done with this review. Okay, I'm almost done. So anyway, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I love this movie. This was really good. What I liked about the film is it pays heavily tribute to Chadwick Boseman. This movie respects Chadwick. It lets you know that the filmmakers, if you want this movie, they let you know they don't forget him. This movie pays respect to him. That clearly he's like the main focus, the main drive for this movie. That I'm glad they didn't recast him. This movie's like a nice tribute for him. Out of respect for him. Do I think they need to make a third movie? Personally, no. This movie did make money, but I don't think you need to make a third film unless they could do a good story out of it. Again, I would like to see Sherry return. I thought the story is real good. They're trying to find out what to do with Wakanda. They're facing new threats. What Sherry's going through with losing her brother and her heart's broken. She's just very broken heart in the movie. But she does get her sense of humor back when she meets Williams. I think they became good friends. She comes to terms with the loss of her brother and her mother. She learns that vengeance in your heart is not right. It's dark in your heart, that you got to just find peace within. And she does. And I think she forgave Newmore. And she, like her brother, like Chadwick, like T'Challa, has a good heart in her too. And yeah, and she becomes the new Black Panther, which I like her suit. It was different. You didn't need the same suit. At least that's one thing I'll give her that. I don't mind them changing the suit. You cannot be Chadwick. You can't put in the shoes, but if they found somebody, it was a good idea that they had her to be in the shoes of Black Panther, though. Yeah, but the film was good. I thought the tokens, they were good villains. They were a major threat, especially the villain here. I like Newmore as the villain, one of the best MC villains. I get it. The surface world kind of, to him, is crazy and mad and sees that it needs to be attacked and needs to be you know, sees it as a threat. So I can understand his reasoning why, even though it's madness. But I thought he was a good villain, and he is a good fighter too. I forgot to mention Muko, Muko, the big guy with the sharp warrior here, tries to go in and like jump and attack him, and then he sees it, breaks his weapon, then punches his armor, nearly kills Muko. I'm like, so yeah, he's a pretty good villain. He can pack quite a punch, and it's not an easy fight. It's almost like he's immortal when you fight. Good fighter. But I like that they have this little war about conflict over nations fighting, trying to find peace, but one wants to go to war, the other one doesn't. The other with vibranium. Like I think that's made of Captain America's shield. And of course Black Panther suit is made out of vibranium. Which I like the whole plots about that. It's a very interesting story. It's completely different from the first movie. Yeah. With them dealing with another nation that they have to fight, go to war with. Yeah, I've not only seen that. It's not nothing new, but the film does have a good story. Yeah. And the cast, I think here, the cast was really good. You know, I think all the cast members did really good in this film. Yeah, the villains were good, and all the rest of the cast members. I thought Ryan Coogler did a good job of writing the script. Uh, the visual effects in the film were very nice. Not every part of the CGI, not all the CGI was great, but I thought the CGI, the visual effects in this film were great. I thought the underwater Copeland City, you know, I can't say it right, I'm sorry, but it was very beautiful underwater. The cinematography was very nice in this film. The visual effects were very good. Some of it done by other visual effects like ILM, who did a good job on that. The editing is good. The music score was reminded me of the first movie as well. Music score is good. Yeah. Any problems? Well, the running time I have a problem with. It did not need to be 2 hours and 41 minutes. You didn't need the back villain of this villain story. I didn't find that interesting. I don't really need a backstory for the villain, or Sherry really being there. I don't think you needed that. You could have trimmed this movie down a bit. It did not need to be 2 hours and 41 minutes. You could have trimmed some stuff down. Just a little bit, trim it. Doesn't need to be 2 hours and 41 minutes. You know, first movie didn't feel like that. And yeah, the pacing, it does take time for things to get going a little bit in the movie, but despite with the pacing, it is a good movie. You know, it is very entertaining. And it's also sad to watch. You know, especially doing Chadwick. If you, yeah, oh, okay, wow. Angela Bassett, she did receive praise for her performance, which she deserved. She did a great job. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, it is like a nice tribute, for Chadwick. Yeah. So I think it got good reviews by critics. And if you don't like the movie, that's fine. Yeah, the car chase was good. Sometimes the night scenes, though, you can't really see what's going on, well, unless you're watching the movie at night. But during the daytime, like I watch the movie, the nighttime scenes can be a little difficult to see, just a little bit in some shots. In the pacing, I think you could have trimmed the movie down a little bit. You didn't need to make it 2 hours long. I don't know, watch superhero movies. Why do you need to be over 2 hours long? You don't need to be that long. You can still tell you a story. You don't need to be over 2 hours is just okay, but Black Adam. I was trying to remember Black Adam. It's just 2 hours and 5 minutes, but still, you don't need to be over 2 hours all the time. Yeah, the movie's a bit too long though. I do think they should have trimmed it down a bit. Despite that though, this is still a very entertaining sequel. It's a nice tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Let me just say, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I don't care no matter what Black Panther movie they make. He will always be Black Panther to me, the best. And so Wakanda Forever. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And my rating for this solid sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. My rating for this film is 4 to 5 stars and a thumbs up. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever? If you've seen it, in your opinion, what do you think of the movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it was garbage? Did you hate the sequel? Did you think it was the worst thing you've ever seen? What do you think of the movie in your opinion? Do you prefer the first movie? I do say the first movie is better. Do you miss Chadwick Boseman like I do? Um, do you think they should make a third movie? And how would you rank the MCU movies? And yeah, as far as MCU sequels go, what did you think of this one? What are some of your favorite sequels that the MCU movies made? And what MCU movies do you think are underrated, in your opinion? Alright, guys, stay tuned because that's all 2022 review. Now getting into the year 2023, as I go by years and months, these next two movies were in February. Well, it's only Yeah, there is no movie in January, and I will be able to actually do one review. Justice League RBY Huntsman Part One, I think it's called. I don't know, but hopefully I'll be able to do it. I gotta get the thumbnail back on here though. I'll do that probably when I'm uploading this video, but after. Sorry, I'll shut up. So starting with the year 2023. Remember years and months. This movie came out in February. Remember, guys, January, December, all 12 months. I go by that. Uh, okay. All right. Anyway, so my first review for the year of 2023. Let's see. Sorry, I'm coming, I'm hurrying. Sorry. Uh, all right, this film is a DC animated movie. This is the 50th installment in the DC Universe animated original movies. Also, the sixth film in the DC animated movie universe's second phase, starting with Superman Man of Tomorrow, and the 50th film in the DC Universe animated original movies. The 50th film, if I can barely talk, that is the film called Legion of Superheroes. So this will be my first uh, review for the year 2023. We're getting to the year 2023 now for these 2023 superhero reviews. We're getting to the year 2023. Legion of Superheroes here will be the first one to go. Will be the first one. This film came out in February. Excuse me, I ate pizza a while ago, so excuse me for burping a little bit. That's why I say excuse me because I'm not rude. But anyway, Legion of Superheroes, guys. This will be the first review. So stay tuned, guys, for the first superhero review, the year of 2020, the first year of 2023. Starting with 2023, Legion of Superheroes will be next. So stay tuned for my review for this. And let me know, guys, what you think about Black Panther Wakanda Forever down below. What do you think of the sequel in your opinion? My rating for the film once again is 4 to 5 stars. Thumbs up. Send me in the comments down below, guys, what you think of the sequel in your personal opinion. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And stay tuned for my review, starting with the year 2023 with the DC animated film, Universe movie, Legion of Superheroes coming up next. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good day. See you later. Bye bye. And if I don't see you any this week, 4th of July is this Friday. So, yeah, just have a good 4th of July, guys. Be safe. If I don't see you, till then, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and be well. And stay sub to my channel and share my channel. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. On forever. And rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. Bye. Bye.